Yeah, I was trying to download it on my phone, but it was just like my phone said it had space, ain't have it. My Google Drive said it had space, it didn't have it. So I was like, man, all right, well. Then I downloaded it on my computer, and so it went due on a computer, but then like trying to find the right app to be able to cut it up. Cause I mean, I feel like the introduction on it was fire. Having Joni come in and, asking us and introducing us and kind of seeing, where we came from, how we got into the practice. I think that was good. So
Nice.
it's just certain moments, man, where he did this thing. And the great thing he did, he always ended up doing was whenever it was either you or I, he would have our information flash across the screen. So if you was massaging, he was recording you.
Nice.
He had
Okay.
you. I was on, he had me. And then he even had her, you know what I'm saying? When she was on her MC thing, he flashed her across the screen. And then at the end, when I was asking you for your model's information, he gave them their credits at the end. So he put their name
Oh, nice. Okay.
and their social media stuff too. So it was just like, okay, I, I,
That's
you know,
everything we needed.
I
That's
can dig
everything we
that.
needed.
Like he
And that's
came
why,
to,
because, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. I want to hear the story. Go ahead.
I was saying he came to me through one of my clients. I was working on her, and I was telling her what I was trying to do. She was like, "Oh yeah, I got the perfect person for you." Didn't know nothing about nothing, and so she gave me the name, and then next thing you know, she asked him, and she pitched the idea, and he said massage versus. He said, "Okay, I'll do it." Because I mean, like I said, it hasn't been done before, so he came in and set up and did his thing, communicated the whole way, the whole process, and you know. But man, the next one, I feel like I already have some ideas on how we can do it better. But we can
Okay.
get to that kind of later. But I'll tell you, after it, I was exhausted. I think I was mentally and physically
I'm
exhausted.
sure, man. I'm sure.
It was just
That
like
was a
this.
lot of energy. It's that, I mean, like when you told me the idea, man, it was like, because for me, I feel like people when they give me something strong of a vision like that,
Uh
they
huh.
really truly thought about that. Like that's just something
Uh
that was like they even did the numbers in themselves. Everything's like blueprinted out. Like I knew how much
huh.
energy put into it. And then when you asked me, I was like, yeah, like that's exactly like what I would have wanted to do, but somebody else is already like ahead of me. Let's join.
Uh
You know what I'm saying? Like let's push the mission forward. And then like it was like the versus part was just interesting
huh.
because it was like I know like for the stretch on social media, that's all you were seeing. I think we got one more coming. I think it's like Joe and who else? Donnell Jones. I think.
I saw something about it. I think it's
Mhm.
two. Is it two rappers or two singers? I don't
It
know.
might be. Last one I saw, I don't
Um,
know if it's true or not, but that's
yeah,
just me. But I thought it was
yeah.
I thought it was interesting. So I was like, you know what? Like, it's a fun way to like get into the trend of it and catch it like while the trend has momentum. So I
Uh,
thought like that was something that was very engaging from the start because people were like, massage versus like, what the fuck does that look like? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but
so
it's also cool because with the trending documentary, Netflix documentary, man, it also made perfect sense. When I did my whole little reel on documentary on the very first ever massage versus, I feel, in a different world that it really could be a documentary on how this all came to fruition. Like, if we had thought about it, we could have recorded stuff from your angle. We could have recorded stuff from my angle.
right.
We could have recorded us talking to people, and then culminated those videos together and had like a mini 15-minute, documentary on, hey, this is how the first massage versus came together. And then that could have kind of led into the actual video drop, so we could have dropped the documentary first and said, how I met you, how you went about your day doing what you was doing, how I go about my day doing what I was doing, even a
Yeah.
short statement on the massage models, how they
Yeah.
came to, in different avenues of life, and then put that all together, present it, and then
You
at the
know, go ahead.
have like a world premiere, now without further ado, the world premiere, what I'm saying, of the very first massage versus. And then, have like, if there's a way on YouTube to kind of have like a members only soft launch. Like, hey, we're gonna let y'all in so y'all can peep it and
For
soft, and
members
then
only
like
soft launch. Yeah.
a week later come back with, now everybody can log in and see and really kind of from a certain end maybe monetize it, because I know YouTube's about views and how many views you get and things of that nature.
Right.
But I know you got to
I
continue
mean,
exposure.
there's sites that you can get like, what's the word I want to use? You can get like a following and they can
Uh,
pay for stuff like that. I'll get back to you on that one because it completely eluded my mind. Like I don't remember the details, but it's sitting in the back of my head somewhere.
uh-huh.
I think the thing I wanted to go back to was the fact that you said, damn, and I just forgot it too. It's about storytelling. Like, I really believe that, like, the branding now for everything that I do going forward is about storytelling because I feel like there's so much experience of what I actually personally go through that somebody else may go through, may
Um,
find it like more relaxing way to walk into transitioning something. Maybe there's something that I did that they don't want to try or they picked up. And I think like it's about storytelling my discoveries, everything that I've done, things of that nature and stuff like that. And then it makes doing content more fun. You know what I'm saying? Like
uh-huh.
it makes it where you're like, it's not a task. You know what I'm saying? For people like me, you know what I'm saying? Like that feels like such a task. Like just to always have like these thoughts and stuff in your head on
Uh-huh.
maybe I should say this quote and then post it to this, this beautiful background and let it float in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's
Uh-huh.
so and credit to the, marketing people that do that, right? Like because that's amazing art. Like, but at the same time, like I'm not built like that.
Uh-huh.
So like I'm built for more of like things like this, you know what I'm saying? Like the social interaction, you know what I'm saying? Hearing the stories, telling the stories, you know what I'm saying? Like being close to the people instead of just being a bot in a lot of ways, like you're just
Uh-huh.
putting out content.
Well, I've always said that one day I would write a book called the Memoirs of a Black Male Massage Therapist.
Mhm.
All the names would be protected. None of the names would be real because it's just so many different like stories that can be told from that angle that not only enlightens people on the field, but it still protects those people who are involved in the stories.
Right.
Wardrobe malfunctions, how people show up to the door when we, instead of the door. I had a lady, a robe and a turkey leg. And I'm just like, all right, well, I guess you're ready. But that's literally how she showed up to the door. Other ones, kids opening the door and the parents are like, who is that? Oh, it's the massage therapist. Like, how do you know who I am? Like, did you, your mom tell you the massage therapist was coming? So you open the door because that was the expectation. There's a lot of different stories. Even when I was on the that TV show, man, it was an awesome experience as well.
Mhm.
But it was just like, that came with a story too. Because as soon as she used the word masseuse, my other massage therapist, he almost lost his mind. He was just, we are, we are not masseuses. That's a French term, and I
Yeah.
mean, and this was back during COVID days. So before we were even allowed to get on the set, we had to do a rapid COVID test just to get on the
Yeah.
set. So we on the set with our masks on. And then the director's just like, hey, for this shot, it's not going to work. So I need y'all to take your mask off for this shot. So it's just the field is broad. I was even looking at someone on Instagram. They just had the U.S. Massage Championships in Cherokee, North Carolina,
Mhm.
right? Because they have the massage festival there every year. And it's one of those things that's on my list of things to do. So I think for me, at some point, I'm gonna venture out to Cherokee, North Carolina, and go see the massage championships. You know,
Yeah. I started seeing a little of those clips coming out. I be feeling like they be doing a lot though sometimes. Like
and I
it
think that's what
just,
makes it hard to keep up with.
yeah.
Because you got tables lined all the way up across, and how can you particularly focus on one person and their technique? And I think that's what made our massage versus very
Yes.
special. We
Yes.
only had to focus on two people.
To you people. Yeah. And that was enough time, especially in a 90-minute session, you can equal out You could interview, you could see change, like, everything that went through and the flow of it. And that's why I'm saying, like,
Uh-huh.
it was genius, man. Like when it was executed, it was
Yeah.
genius the way it was because it flowed.
Uh-huh.
And it was like no stagnation in between it. And once we were done, we were done. Like it wasn't like, okay, like what's next? You know what I'm saying? If we felt like we actually put in like real energy and
Uh-huh.
real work into, and it flowed. And so that's why I was like, man, like I had to see the video.
I think it one of the best ways to describe it is that it was for the camera, but it wasn't about the camera, you know.
Mhm.
So it was for the people to see. But I think once we got into our element and we was massaging, I knew the videographer was, I could feel him over my shoulder at times. But
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm going through what I would normally do. So I'm not even thinking. He videotaping me, you know what I'm saying, massaging her toes. Because I'm in my mind, I'm like, recording or not, this is what I would usually do. This is how I would usually massage. And I think that's the great thing because we didn't have to put on the show for the camera, right? We were able to do
Right.
things that we normally would do anyway, but now it's being recorded. So,
Yeah, no, that was that, and that's what I told you. I was like, when the moment that we spoke about this in private, I was like, bro, do you know how much content we're gonna get from this? Like,
mhm,
just off the video alone, and just like we can clip for days
it's
on that.
it's going to be overwhelming, man. It's going to be real overwhelming because, like you said, it's a lot from the very start when the MC starts speaking.
Mhm.
It's just like I was trying to think how I would clip it. And I said, well, man, maybe I clip the first 30 seconds. I say, no, I got to probably clip the first 39 because within the first 39, she's introduced, I'm introduced, you're introduced, our purpose is introduced. So it's just
Mhm.
like you can't even give equal increments on how to clip it. You got to clip it based upon when a transition occurs.
Right.
And I think that's how he did his video when he did the video. He moved the video when a transition was about to occur when we were working on our models. You know, once he sensed the transition was about to occur, then he would move to me. Or if I was doing something and transitioning, then he would move to you. And I think that's what made the video flow. Because when he
Yeah.
really told me he was going to send it, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't know what WeTransfer was. I had never heard of it. Because in my mind, I was thinking to myself, well, how is he going to get it to me? Because I'm pretty sure it's a huge file. Is he going to have to zip it or what is he going to do? So when he
Right.
sent me the email saying,
I
I
thought
did,
a Google Drive.
once he did that, I was just like, okay, well, I had to look it up. Then once I saw it was a downloadable link, I said, cool, even better. All I got to do is just click and wait. So, yeah. But I
Yeah.
think when you see the video, when the video's out there, it'll make sense to people, man. But I think people will have some things to say about why didn't they do this and stuff. And for those people, I'm just like, well, why weren't you there? Why
Yeah.
you
You
know,
missed out on it,
you,
man.
you got the good ideas and the why we didn't do this, and but you weren't in the stands to make that recommendation that day, like
Yeah.
that day, So I think,
It-
you know, everybody can talk about doing it, but the fact that we actually did it, I think that's what means the most. And I think even from now, when if I see a massage person on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, I'ma know we did it first.
Yeah.
We did it first.
Yeah.
We kind of was that trial, we opened that door, and with zero experience in doing something of this magnitude, we were able to walk through that
Yeah.
door and walk in and walk out with our heads held high because
Yeah.
we didn't mess it up. We
Yeah.
received it.
Yeah.
We could have messed it up. And my homegirl was just like, y'all should sell alcohol. I'm like, no, we don't want it to be that kind of event.
Yeah.
There's not what we want to portray, massages and alcohol. No, we don't want that.
Yeah.
There's other ways of putting people in the seats. And I think, we find those ways to put people in the seats. We find those people to talk to that have them keys to certain doors. And once we talk to them, we kind of figure out if we need to pivot or if we need to continue the model that we've been using. And then if this model that we're using just needs a fine tuning, I'd rather do that than trying to blow the whole thing up and be like, okay, well, let's start from scratch.
And that's where it's at because that's how you build momentum.
Uh-huh.
You know, like I really truly believe in building momentum. Like if you do not have that, everything becomes stagnant.
Yeah.
And I think like also too, you have to understand like there's going to be you have to put the energy out there. Like I believe in that as well too. Like I believe the fact that you have the material, but you don't put the material out enough.
Yeah.
And because maybe you may not believe in it, maybe you may feel like, oh, it's not good enough. Maybe I don't know how to edit. Maybe I'm not a good storyteller. But I think like over time, as you continue to push out your message, you start to find something that works for you and it makes it lovable by people because it's genuine.
Hmm. And I think that's the other thing, right? Just having a plethora of material to push out. Because once you get started, it becomes cumbersome, man. You gotta, the people, the algorithm or whatever is looking for you and say, hey, it's almost been 24 hours. Where's the new reel? It's almost been 24 hours. Where's the new story? Because, it'll tell you, hey, this one got this much percentage more than the other one. Like I was showing you the video that was on about 32,000 views at that point, right? Now I think it's up to 37.5 and still going. So I had that first, and I still don't know what the heck happened, to be honest with you. I guess people
Right.
just liked the song and liked the video. I guess they put that together. And before you knew it, I went from 1,000, from 1,000 to 5,000. But you never know because, you have the initial ones that look at our videos and are, okay, that's cool. But I don't want that done to me. And then you have people that, live such busy lives or whatever the case may be. And then they come on and
Oh, it's Jody.
there she is. And what's going on? And then they come
Hello.
on and they catch the tail end of it. And they might be the ones that's more interested in the product than the initial people that saw your reel and they saw your content. So it just makes you wonder the audience that you gather, what part of the audience is going to stay with you and what part of the audience is kind of like, hey, I'm just sliding in, seeing what you're doing, and then I'm going to slide back out again.
Well, hello, Jody.
Hello,
Nice to see
hello.
you.
There's the MC right
Too.
there.
Sorry for my
Yeah,
tardiness.
this was our MC for the Masonic Verses and everything. Did a fantastic job. I still
Thank
cannot wait to see
you.
this video because I know it's bomb.
You
Like,
haven't watched it yet?
no, because my stuff won't download because I have no storage space and nothing I have.
That might have been the reason why mine took forever to download. Remember I texted you, Paul, I was like, how long did it take you? Because mine took forever.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, so now that we're getting ready to have this stuff out now, right? Like, how do we feel now about after we finish this? Like how what is it? What do you feel like it's going to propel us to do going forward?
What you guys actually have started is like a movement, to be honest. I feel like the more people see it, the more people want to be a part of it, just to push massage therapy out there and try to get rid of some of the stigma behind massage therapy that has been following it for years. I had someone call me a masseuse the other day, and I was like, nah. I was like, you can call me a massage therapist. You can even at this point call me a physiotherapist, but masseuse would never work in my field. So I think that kind of negative mind frame is still out there for a lot of people. So I think with this,
Yeah.
it shines a light on a platform that needs to be had in order to show what massage is. Because still nowadays, you can scroll on Instagram and see some things and you're like, that ain't massage. And I don't want nobody coming to me thinking they ain't finna get that type of massage, So it's a lot of debunking we have to do. And I think this is the platform to do that on.
Well, I think that's good to hear, especially from a perspective of, a black woman that is in massage therapy, because I worked with a lot of black men and women in the field, and I've heard so many stories, and so many of the horror stories comes from like, I've heard like some of my female friends have gotten like almost trapped in rooms, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like like I'm so glad I've never had to experience that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't had too many
you know,
wow encounters. I think with me, my upfrontness is when you first walk in my room, my expectations of you as a client and your expectations of me as your therapist are laid out right then and there to let you know what I'm not going to tolerate. And I think my demeanor kind of lets them know, no, she ain't going to play that. Exactly. You're going to get your feelings hurt up in here asking for a happy ending.
Right. Man, the times I've been asked, it'd be crazy every time because it's
Yeah.
always unique every single time. It's never the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paul, how you feel about it? I know I'm because this is your brainchild, right? Like I know, like what do you feel like immediately is gonna come from this? Like, what do you think? Like, all right, like now that I put the energy out there to create it, and now I'm putting the energy out there to push it. What do you feel like is gonna be the first thing that's gonna like come back to you?
I think the first thing that'll come back is kind of the why, right? And then after the why will come the how. Why did you decide to do it? And this one thing, you'll explain it many times over. Why on earth would you decide to do massage versus what made you decide that this was the moment, the right moment in time to do massage versus? And then I think after that, once they understand the why, then they'll ask how. Well, how did you make it happen? What were the avenues of approach that you had to seek in order, how did you get an MC? How did you find out the therapist? How did it all come together? So I think, and I don't take complete credit for it. So for me, it's about opening doors for other people, man. I think one of the best moments that I had was at the end of the massage versus where all of us and even the other two ladies that, were there with us kind of got the network and kind of got to show people, hey, we're massage therapists, but, we can still advise you, you're not doing this or why you're not doing this. You could be doing this to add to your business and grow your business. So to me, it's more so about just putting it out there, man. There's plenty of resources that even in a small room that we share together that we could offer each other to expand and grow. But I think the number one thing is identifying how do you want to expand and grow, right? So massage versus might work for us, but it may not work for somebody else. Stretching might work for somebody, but it might not work for another person. So it's being able to identify that the overall picture is find that thing that works for you. Find that one or two things where you can put your focus on, you can put your chips in and say, I'm going to place my flag right here. I'm going to hone my craft. I'm going to sustain my skills. Like for me, for example, one of the things I always try is we are very good with our hands. And I think Joni kind of brought some of our weakness out from us when she did it was, can we elaborate? Can we expand upon why we're doing what we're doing? And yeah, I was telling her it's like a cook show, I'm here and I'm massaging and whatnot. And all of a sudden I got this mic in my face and it's just like,
and like the chef is in your face. Hey, so how you feel about making this souffle? Is it good? I was, yeah,
but
that was good though.
Great thing though, it forces us to be able to articulate on a professional level for those who are professionally minded and who know the names of the muscles and the joints and the ligaments. And then it also forces us to be able to communicate with those people who may not have as much knowledge in that field, but still being able to articulate them in that way in a manner where they can understand it and they don't feel like they're being belittled for what they may not know,
No, I agree. I think like the momentum is just putting the energy out there. And just people are going to be curious about it. I think like, when we first put the news out there, I had in my, in my department with my people, they were very curious about it. It's like a massage versus like, how the hell are y'all going to do that? And I'm just like, you just going to have to see, player. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just going to have to experience it. You know what I'm saying? And I think like, now that you said that the edit went a certain way and how it looks and how everybody has their titles and information on it, it kind of just, it instantly just looks like to the public, like, oh, this is what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not bad. Now you start getting people's opinions coming in, right? Because then they're going to be like, oh, what would happen if y'all had did it there? Or what happened if y'all would have had like, maybe the MC should have like did like a whole segment on this person, or, maybe she should have, introduced the competitors in like fighting robes and stuff like that next time around. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. But then that creativity starts coming out from people, right? And then you start peeling back that creativity, which be like, now we start responding with the creativity. So I think like the number one thing I think we all believe in is that no comment is going to be a negative comment. You know what I'm saying? I look at it as like, you sit there and say, you guys look like it sucked. Nobody showed up. Okay, great. But look at what we did. You know what I'm saying? Like this was actually beautiful to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like this shows like the craftsmanship from the person that did the video to the person that literally is on the table, like knocked out sleep or maybe stretched in a certain position. You know what I'm saying? And now it starts building like, okay, you know, the haters are gonna fall off. We already know like they're like ticks. They're gonna try to stick on you, suck a little blood, and then die. It's the people that are just like start asking curious questions like, are you guys doing this only in Orlando? Are you guys interested in collabing with other therapists in other cities to create this content? And me and you, Paul, talked about it directly about that possibility of it happening. So I think like,
Well, no, it's not just us. I've had that conversation with Joni as well, because
mhm,
I tell you, I don't, and we discussed it. It's enough people out here to get massages, man. I don't need
mhm,
to hold on to clients. You don't need to. You don't need to. So for me, if we got it, we own it all together. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes where
right,
somebody might lift more than others, but yeah, but that's just the nature of the business. You know, with me, I've always tried to do this thing where I check my ego at the door. You know, if I see a move, like I was looking at you on the video because I couldn't see you during the taping because my back was towards you. You know what I'm saying? Turned towards you. But when I got to see the video, I was like, I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna take that move right there. And I think that's just goes to the credibility of knowing who you're working with and having that hummus to say, yeah, I'm a good therapist, but I could be better at what I do, not
absolutely,
even on the field, but even just networking and marketing in those respects. So I lean a lot on people. I lean a lot on Journey. I lean a lot on people just encouraging me that there's still more to be done. There's still some stones that need to be turned over. And I think that's why we have these conversations where we can figure out, well, what stone can we turn over? So yeah. Johnny, what's
I
your
agree.
thoughts?
So just to piggyback off of what Paul was saying, going back to the platform, what this is going to create. A lot of people don't know how to put themselves out there. I'm one of them. You look at my Instagram, you're not going to see me. I am a shy person. I'm not a camera person. So I don't like putting myself out there. This kind of helps you take that step on getting yourself out there so that people that don't know you and don't know your skill set.
Should be back.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, I think what. So with that being said, what do you feel like personally that you could have done better during that situation? Yeah, we're good now.
With us as massage therapists, our learning never stops. We're constantly learning, trying to put new tools in our bag to help people. But we got to understand we can't help everybody that comes our way. So that's where that networking part really plays in, because you need a network. If somebody comes here on vacation and lives in Orlando and was like, man, I need a massage in Orlando, I want to be able to refer them to you, Berkeley. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the importance
Right.
of it. I've had my name spread it all up north, like in New York and Ohio, and people calling me saying, hey, I got your name
Oh,
from somebody in New York. I don't know nobody live in New York. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. But
Right.
somebody must have came across me or my page or something that said, hey, you need to go see her, which I appreciate. But most importantly for us as Black therapists as well, I think it's important for us to build a platform for us as well to help promote us and move us forward in this industry as a people.
And that's what I created. I did that on this
Yeah.
on my side.
Yes.
I'm pushing that on my side to that's my biggest mission now, man. I'm like, man, it's so many of us, so many skills, so many talents, so many history, you know, so much, you know, knowledge. Some of us have more ability than others. And then there's so many different niches in it that people love it. You know what I'm saying? That we're now stepping into as, you know, African American practitioners. And I think like I saw that we were all just we were on the same mission, but all scattered. And my biggest goal was like, well, let's put it all in the same place and then advertise to our people and say, hey, this is what we're building over here. Like, come follow this, you know, come watch this and stuff like that. And this is what this platform and this is what this podcast hopefully brings attention to is that we're able to build together and not without, you know, and there's like a whole movement going on now, right? Like we got like, you know, nail practitioners now are literally just coming out of the woodwork after they had the Asian cultures sat there and said what they said about us. And so now black people are like, okay, well, you think we can't do this? Like, that's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like we were trying to help y'all out, but I bet. You know what I'm saying? And that's literally what the whole attitude has been for us. And I strongly, strongly, strongly believe that. And I stand with that because I'm like, man, like, listen, like, it's not even because I've met some really good white people. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, they're not all, a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm always thinking in the back of my head is like, how do you feel about me truly? You know what I'm saying? And at least for me with another black person, I look at it as like, you know what, no matter what, like I may not like you, you may be from under the street or hood for me. I may be envious or jealous of you, but what it is that we still go through the same struggle. We still black people at the end of the day. We still gonna be labeled as what we're labeled no matter what. And I think for me, it was like, okay, well, let's put our money where our mouths is, right? Like, if we're going to sit there and say, like, we're going to stop going to Target, we're going to start paying these Asian nail places, we're going to stop buying these wigs, these weaves and stuff like that. Like, men, we're going to stop being flashy and doing, and, giving all this money to like all these, millionaire name brand white folks and stuff like that. Like, we need to start investing in that. And I think the energy, at least my energy alone, has been like so scattered. It's been so scattered because like I've been bringing in like so much of the positive energy, like you guys and stuff, right? And then I get the negative energy from the black folks that are sitting there saying like, whoa, you may be a little bit overstepping there. Like you may not be the person for the job. And it's always like somebody has to be, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody has to die on that sword and bleed on it just to try to put it out there. You know what I'm saying? And all the greatest black creators in the world have done the same exact thing going forward. And so that's why I looked at the massage verses as the opportunity was like, okay, like, even though we're not like the massage brand itself, because we know it's going to be mostly ran by, the white folks in America and stuff like that here. And then other countries, they, vice versa, right? They have their own people there. But now we have an actual niche in the field that is actually like looked at culturally as our thing in the field. And now people are like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the response that we would get is like, that was cool, guys, like what you guys did. And so that's the kind of interest that I want going forward is like everything that I do, everything that I talk about with you guys on the show is that I truly believe in the vision that you guys have set for yourselves. But then I also understand the struggles, the long nights, the long days that you guys go through individually. And I just want to bring attention to that because we all go through it. And instead of us just fighting, let's just be like, hey, y'all, what do you need? Let's do this so we can do it together. And that's been my mission from the beginning. So I'm like, I'm grateful for it. So
absolutely. And then like this, because to be honest, when we watch the World Massage Competition, you don't see us. We're not on there, This kind of gives us our own World Massage Competition stage, to showcase what we do as people. So yeah, definitely room in there to open up to show people, hey, this is what we have. This is what we can offer. Try stepping into our space for once, for the ones that have been skeptic, especially for men. Y'all are needed in so many ways, like male nurses.
Yeah, man.
You guys are needed. Male therapists, you guys are needed. And I don't think people understand or appreciate what you guys bring to the table. Because when an athlete come to me at 360 pounds and 6'3" and above, there's nothing I can do for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you, your best bet is
to get Paul, man. I don't even want to meet this shit.
Yeah, they always want the smallest one. I'm like, no, you need a male therapist. Just to be honest with them. And I've turned some of them away. Hey, I'm not your therapist. This is what you need, and I don't know why some of them are hesitant about. I don't want a guy touching me. You got to let all of that go out the window. Because for one, your favorite athletes on TV, guess who their therapists are? Males. So it's like you need that, and you guys are necessary. I just wanted to give you guys your flowers while you're here to let you know that you guys are very
Thank you.
necessary in this field.
Thank you, man. Like, and I love, you know, like just to piggyback off of that statement, like I love the black women in our field, man. Like it gives me so much life because every time I've worked with a sister, she's always giving me like some kind of words of encouragement. Like, keep on going, baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? I met some aunties in the field and they'd be like, baby, just keep on going. You know what I'm saying? And like some of them will pray over a brother, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, man, like that love is just so real. And like I always appreciate it. And I'm just like, it's always good to just, know that like all that false information that black men and women don't like each other is just like it makes absolutely no sense because it's true. We love each other. You know what I'm saying? It's just that we may have beef, but everybody got beef at the opposite sex. We'll never truly understand each other.
Mhm.
We could just exist together and just love on each other and just love through the issues. And so for me, like I look at like when Paul brought you on and everything was like, yo, I got an MC and everything, I was like, this is gonna be fun. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like number one, like you took away like so much of the anxiety, at least for me, that I had on like just trying to figure out like, did I need to say something? Do I need to like be more face present? Like, do I need to do that? Like, I swear, you and the cameraman did all that for us. So like, y'all the two MVPs of the whole show. Because I'm just like, should I be looking in? Like, should I be locked in? Should I be talking shit to Paul? Like, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it was like you helped out, and then Paul like also spoke up, and then it just kind of like was like, okay, like this feels comfortable now and stuff like that. And it just felt like it just flowed consistently. And that's why, I always give you your flowers on like how the show is because you broke that ice for when me and Paul were getting locked in. You kept us engaged with the audience. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just our craft, you kept us engaged with the audience. Like, two things could be true during the show. And so we appreciated that. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
of course.
Like going back, I think for me, the haters, I love because they teach you how to be in certain rooms. They teach you that when that door opens, you don't know who's behind that door. But when you're dealing with haters, basically they give you the blueprint. They're telling you why everybody behind that door doesn't want you in that room. They're telling you why everybody that's that male or that female that doesn't want you touching them, they're telling you why. So you can formulate responses to their why, and you can have rebuttals to their why and eliminate whatever the stigmas that they have. Oh, well, I heard black guys do this, right? I'm glad you brought it up because now that I understand that's what you heard, you're probably not the only one that has heard that. Right. So let me combat that by speech, but also by my actions. For the black guys, the guy touched me. That's weird. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you said that, but let me understand how are you trying to perform? What are you trying to get out of massage? And I think once you approach it in that manner, let them come. Let them come because I don't want to become complacent. I don't want to be, everybody says, yes, you're my therapist. Please tell me no. But if you tell me no, tell me why. Please, you know what I'm saying? You don't want the massage versus, that's fine. Tell me why. Tell me why you don't side with it. Tell me why you don't agree with it. Tell me why you don't view it as something that's beneficial to our community. Because you know what? When you tell me that, I now have something else to speak upon. I can make that a part of my agenda. This person said massage versus would never work because it might take away from our craft. Okay, but tell me why. Because a lot of people can say no, but very few people can elaborate on why they say no. A lot of people will treat us like kids because I said so. I ain't nobody's kids. So if you're going to tell me no and you're not going to offer me an explanation, then your no is not validated to me. But if you could tell me no and you could say because of this, because of a personal experience, because this happened here, because I witnessed this or my homeboy, my homegirl said that, now I can see where your train of thought is. Now I can formulate a response based upon so what you're saying to me is you had a moment. What you're saying to me is in this arena, you felt that you weren't listened to, you weren't heard, you weren't listened to. And so haters don't do that. They don't deter me. They just make me better at explaining what I do. Journey and I was talking and she was sharing with me I won't go in detail because I don't want this to get posted on media and then someone clip it and things and well, Mr. Relax Fit said this about this person. But there's some people on social media and their massage practices are a little questionable, to say the least. We'll just put it like that. I don't want to be specific, but Joni and I always talk about, look at the amount of followers that they have.
Right.
You know, you can, so you're telling me if I massage your pinky toe on camera, that means I'm going to get 10,000 views for your pinky toe? Like,
bro, we are so freaked out right now, man. It's crazy.
Because Joni's on here, I'm gonna share the moments since Joni's on here. We talked about it before, right? The last time, because for social media out there, Joni's my massage therapist. So I'm not trying to tell y'all can't have her, but she's my massage therapist. Yeah.
And vice versa. Paul is my massage therapist, so we take care of each other.
There you go.
Man, listen, I love my massage therapist.
So I
love mine.
Showing her, and I was talking to you about it, I literally was working on her, had the phone out in one hand at the mirror that's in her office, massaging her. And I can't tell if it was the song or the massage or what it was, but I was showing her how in less than 24 hours, it had almost 20,000 hits. The video was, I kid you not, the video was blurry at most. It faded in, faded out. You know what I'm saying? You had to really look at it and say, what is he massaging?
Mm-hmm.
And even now, when I look at it today, it's at 37.5K for hits. No nudity, no profanity, no nothing. And it's at 37.5 hits. So it just goes to show you never know what the market is. You never know if one video, one word, one massage versus could be the springboard to now people are looking at you. Hey, how do I do it? And what we've done is we've empowered all three of us so that if somebody were to contact us personally, we've now empowered each other to say, hey, I can help you. And guess what? The things that we don't know, we can tap into each other and say, how did you do this? How did you do that? Like if someone said, hey, I need an MC. I'm not MCing your stuff, but I know one, you know what I'm saying? She's great. She's great. And I promise you will not go wrong if you put her on. Yeah. But that's the whole point. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one day I'll get into a point where I could be an MC of some kind of event, but it allows you to see people for what their talent set, some of the talents that they have, and use those talents, and I think that's what happens with us as African Americans, right? We have so many different talents that get hidden or that get put away for fear of how it might be received.
Mm-hmm. We sure do.
But if people know what your talent set is and they realize what you brought to the table, they will engage you more because what you have is what they need. Like magic. It's what they need because they never understood what you could bring to their field, what you could bring to their bubble. And that's why you find things happening on this level. I wouldn't be surprised if this video gets out there, the massage video gets out there, and people start communicating and contacting us, because I was telling Johnny, I was telling B, at the same time that we were doing our thing, I think the World Massage Championships were taking place in Cherokee, North Carolina on the same weekend. So, we wasn't trying to add to the competition, but now we want a foot in the room. Y'all got people lined up. You know what I'm saying? We had two people. We bring us to the table. I was talking to somebody.
Table.
Bring you like Tyler Perry said. Yeah, bring your own table. Yep. Yeah, bring your own table. We were talking about a couple years ago. You and I was talking about going to the Black Licensed Massage Therapist Conference that they were doing up in Charlotte, right?
Oh yeah.
We're bringing it to them and saying, hey, guess what? We brought our tables. Add us to your calendar of events. Schedule this for one of the nights. The night gathering will be a massage versus between this. I don't feel like there should be a limit on what we can do with this. I don't feel like there should be anything that's going to tell us, hey, let's stop here while the getting's good. And I think that's the challenge, right? It can be frustrating, but that's the challenge for each other. Keep pushing. You right around the corner for what a breakthrough might look like for you. You right around the corner from your pot of gold, whatever the case may be. Find out what it is that motivates you. Use this as a springboard and just continue to enhance your ability, your marketability, and your appearance so that when people look at you, you know, they may not know you, but they know what you bring to the table.
Excuse me. Something that was very interesting was that what would have been the possibility if we were to get other therapists that had more recognition than us, right? Like, let's just go out and just reach out to other therapists that probably had a bigger social media following or had more of a following and stuff like that than us and everything. And they reached out to us to say, I like your massage versus I want to be the next person to go against this person. And then like, that's already, you're looking at people that probably had like 10 to 15,000 views as their own individual IP. Then you get another person that's like challenging them live about it and stuff like that too, all because of something that you created. And so that's what I always believe in is momentum. Is just all you need to do is just literally just put that energy out there and then somebody will find it. We don't know how long it'll take, but I feel like if you got your foot on the gas pedal as to advertising something that you truly stand on, you can move that needle for yourself. Like, I don't see why you would be stuck. There's no way you could be stuck because the number one thing that you do when you lose is you learn. You learn from that loss. You learn why it didn't work. You learn why people hated it. You learn why money didn't come in. You learn. And you were like, I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing this again. I do like this idea, but let me see if I could do this better. And then now you start diving a little bit deeper. And this is the issue for a lot of entrepreneurs and this is where it kind of separates people from entrepreneurship to actual employees, at least in my opinion, because I don't want to be one of them people that this nigga think he know everything. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to be one of the people to say that out loud, y'all. But I think for me is that it's all about that second push. It's that second push because that first push was like you felt like you put all your energy and all your eggs into that one basket, and then it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to turn out. Now you're defeated, and that second push could have gave you the momentum you needed for more people to start being in contact with you. Yeah. And I think like once you looked at that first push, you were like, I felt like I did a great job, or I felt like I didn't do good enough. And it's always in a high and a very low opinion. There's never a neutral opinion about how people feel about entrepreneurship. And because entrepreneurship doesn't look like consistent income, it does not look like that. It looks like the ebbs and flows of how money and energy works. Like some days you wake up, you're not happy every single day. Then there's some days that you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm excited. Let's get to work. It's like all energy in the world to go make this massive push. And you have to understand that you riding those waves and those momentum of those waves can create something sustainable for yourself because you know what to do now is build a system. And now that you built that system, you can feel if your energy is complete shit. Like you wake up and you're like, bro, like last night I kicked my ass. I'm tired. I don't know what to do. Like I don't have the energy to push. You have a system in place for you that will keep you good while you're on your bad days. And then when you're on your good days, now your push is creativity and not out of survival mode. And so, and that's where like, for me now, like I had to literally learn this like very late in my life on this is how not only my business stands on it, but my entrepreneurship really is truly my life. Like it's literally understanding my own individual life creates because the energy put out there creates that financial gain for me. And it creates those friendships and those relationships to build upon. And so that's why I stand very strong on the entire statement of like, you have the idea, you're already getting ready to start trademarking it. Like it's about like, let's get these people faces now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the next step of momentum is like, okay, once we put the stuff out there for people to see, it's about like tagging people, letting people know, hey, I put this out here. Do you mind sharing this with me? And I feel like now one of my biggest issues was I had a lot of shame in doing that. And now I don't. I'm like, hey, y'all, like, if you really my friend, post my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Like, you don't, it's very simple. Like, and the buttons are like, what, 2 seconds to press? You don't even got to watch it. Just post it. Because if you may not like it, then somebody else may find information in it that may be beneficial to them and vice versa. So it's like, post my shit, man. Like, just my people. And I'm pointing at my people. I point at my people. I point at, everybody that I try to do business with. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's exactly the same energy I'm gonna give y'all. I am going to post your shit. I'm literally just gonna be like, whatever you believe in and you stand on it, and you're like, I'm putting this out there into the universe, I will post it for you without a doubt. Because it is art, it is creativity. Whether it works out or not, you can see your momentum progressively through other people's content. Like somebody reaches out to you and be like, "Hey, I saw you through such and such. Oh yeah, that's my good friend." You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like you've already built that relationship through somebody else that you had built that relationship through. Momentum.
I think in that respect, man, you gotta also look for yourself and you gotta be a gatherer, right? I know we talk
Hmm.
about recording storm massages or whatever if we have permission and stuff like that. On your great days, hey, the massage might be 90 minutes. Take an extra 10 minutes and say, hey, can I record some stuff? And
Hmm.
record enough
Yeah.
material. You know, you get 2 or 3 people, you just record enough material. So, like you said, on your days where you don't feel like it, you ain't got to do it because you have material stored up for days that
Yes.
30 seconds long, 45 seconds long, 15 seconds long. I don't care if it's, hey, my name is Paul Yittens, I'm a massage therapist. It's still something that puts you out there and allows people to see who you are, depending on where you're at. So on those great days, be a gatherer. Just gather everything. I don't care if you getting in the car. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I'm taking a massage table and pushing it into the car. I'm gonna record that. That lets
Mm.
people know I'm coming. You know, one of my other hits on Instagram, I did a video where it was just like the person didn't have money, and I ended up taking a table, and people didn't realize it. But when I was kicking the table back into the truck, I almost tripped and fell. I was able to save myself, but I almost tripped and fell, and it turned out
Nice.
to be one of the most watched views that I had on my Instagram. So you
Hmm.
never know. Your mistakes can be what propels you because people see that. And I promise you, they were laughing. They were relating to those
Hmm.
experiences and things like that. But it made you seem like, hey, I can totally be goofy or clumsy. And people don't see that in me. I see that in myself. But what
Yeah.
people see in me is that relatability of I've had that experience happen to me before. That could have happened to me before. That better not happen to me before. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. So all of it, you know, in big scheme of things becomes how you market it, how you spin the story, how you tell the story to other people, how they see your story. So
Yeah. I mean, Johnny, I would like your opinion about like how you do storytelling from your perspective as a therapist. Like, how
we
do
were
you?
just talking about storytelling.
Oh, see, yeah, we were.
There you
So I
Hmm.
know.
go. Yes. Yeah. What?
I
What?
listen, I am
See.
like I say, I'm very camera shy. Paul putting me in front of that camera, I was nervous as heck. I don't like being front and center. Like that's just not me
Mhm.
at all. And I had people, friends of mine, like you need to come from behind the shadows and start posting and doing this and showing people your personality and stuff. And the thing for me is
Yeah.
that when I'm in a massage, I'm like strictly focused on that massage. So I don't stop and be like, oh, well, let me record some and nothing like that because I'm just so focused on making sure I'm giving you the best massage ever. So it is something
Right.
that I need to start doing. That I say I need to, and this opportunity that Paul has given me has kind of like made me see, okay, I can do this. I can come from behind the shadows, step in front of the camera, and do what I need to do, and promote myself. Because nobody can carry my brand but me. So and
Right.
I can represent myself quite well, especially, but like one on ones, I'm good. It's just the camera makes me so shy. I don't know. I'm working on it though.
There you go.
I'm the same way. I'm very, I was very skeptical about doing this. Hell, even to this day now, I'm still skeptical about doing all this. But I think I do have like this underlying belief in myself that I have, and I do truly have proof of that, right? Like I have the ability to learn and I have the ability to adapt. I've proven that to myself. So the only thing now at this point is just unlogical fear. It's like it logically doesn't make sense for me to be afraid of putting myself out there when I know that if it sounds bad at the beginning or the content is bad at the beginning, it's going to get better because I'm going to actually put the energy, I'm going to put the work in, I have resilient tendencies to get better. And I think that's where I always bring it back to when I actually have like that fear inside, like that, those jitters of doing it. Like, it's just like, bro, like just just do it and just have your camera ready, And I think the number one thing for me is that like I actually use my massage therapist as content as well too. Like me and her, we work together and I'll get content from her, she'll get content from me and everything, and that helps push us. And it breaks that immediate like I need a client, and then you have to tell your client, hey, do you mind if I record this session showing because I love your house and all this? It kind of feels more weird because you don't know how it's in people's faces. But I take the opportunity to reach out to people I do know to create that content, to kind of give like that push that I need. So, and I think that's really all that matters. And like, Paul said earlier, is like you can have like so much content in storage, and now you can literally just push it in as many forms as you want. You could do short form, you could do content, you could do memes now. Like there's so many different ways content is being put out there. So I think that like the thing that I try to be, responsible now is just like keep pushing the energy out there. I think that will be the opportunity that will get us to the level that we can now start getting those responses and start getting the people that are now interested in saying, I want this in our city, or I want to be the next contestant. And I think that's going to be the next thing that's going to come is the genuine interest now.
And so I think we're saying that is, for one thing, there was a vision, right? There was a vision that we shared as far as trying to do this and make this happen. But I think now we need to transcend into the provision part, right? Now we need to be able to provide that vision and the ability to mimic that vision to other people. Of course, we need to protect it so that, they know we have it and we're willing to share it, but we're not selling it. We're not giving it away. We're not offering it up. There's no price tag that you could put on it for me to be like, oh, I'll walk away. You can have it, right? I think I don't know if I told you, because soon as I came home, the first thing I did was log on to United States Patent and Trademark Office, and I immediately submitted the information to go ahead and trademark it. Because if you don't do it, somebody else will.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And that quick, very quickly, very quickly.
See it online and be like, Massage Versus. I wonder if anybody, I'll submit for it. Ain't walked in our shoes, ain't did none of the legwork that we did, but we'll receive all of the credit that goes behind it. And I don't want that. So that was the very first thing. I didn't even eat. I came home and sat on the computer, and for the next 45 minutes proceeded to do that. So that's why I said having the vision, and now it comes with the provision of providing that vision to other people and saying, hey, you can use it, but you can't have it. Our talent set is our talent set. Johnny, your ability to, turn on the charm when you hit the camera, that's for you. You know what I'm saying? Be your way of articulating stuff and bringing the energy to the party. That's on you. Me is kind of being able to kind of dig my way through things and think our way into, situations where we can find the resources needed. That's on me. So bringing it all together means, at the end of the day, we are stronger together than we are apart, right? It doesn't take away from who we are as individuals, but we understand once our superpowers are combined together, there's nothing out there that can stop us but time.
Wonder Twins activated.
Yeah.
My nerd side.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to thank you guys for joining me today, man. I definitely was excited to talk about it. I'm still really excited to see the video when it comes out. So yeah, any final thoughts, Joni, before we head up out of here?
No, just thank you for sharing your platform with us to push this even further. And then again, Paul, thank you for even coming up with such a good thing or a beginning of a movement. Like I said, I feel like this is. So I just appreciate you guys, and I'm looking forward to see what the future holds for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul?
Look, you know me. I ain't hard to find. So I'm out here. I got ideas. Look, I'm going to tell you like this. When I got back, Joanna already pushed me to try to go to the next level. She pushed me to try to, be a CE provider. So that's what I'm saying. That behind the scenes stuff that she's talking about, she does that to me. She said, hey, you should be doing this. And then when but here's the thing with her, right? And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to step out. When she says stuff to you, like, I don't be knowing where to start at, but she always gives me the provision. Oh, you don't know how to be a CE provider? Don't worry about it. And she immediately sends me I'm like, well, I guess I ain't got no excuse. Like, and that's the part, right? That's the part, the provision part that we need in our lives to push it. So as long as I'm here on this earth, I'm gonna continue to push y'all to be great. You know what I'm saying? I tell everybody all the time, be great. Don't be normal. Don't fit in. So that's my ending thing, man. Just what we have is what we have, but be great and continue to be great in this field and in your life. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going. Keep going.
Absolutely, guys. Be extraordinary, guys. So I appreciate it again, guys, man. Like I have so much like stuff that I'm gonna continue to keep putting out there, and I'm so glad I got the chance to meet you guys. And we're definitely gonna be talking again
Oh, definitely.
consistently because we got so much shit that we need to do.
Yep.
Like we have a lot that we need to do because it needs to be done. So till again, peace out, guys. See y'all
Thank
later.
you, gentlemen. Y'all be
Bye
blessed.
bye.
All right.
You too.